after the Trump administration, openly spoke about the possibility of selling Ukraine long-range Tomahawk missiles, and the US president himself expressed hope for Ukraine to regain all its territories. Donald Trump called Putin, and his rhetoric changed. On the one hand, Russians are genuinely frightened by the prospect of the Kremlin being destroyed and Moscow being bombed because why us? We're not to blame. On the other hand, they breathed a sigh of relief.
Although it's worth noting that this week we were all able to breathe a sigh of relief. If we were seriously discussing what the Patriot system is,
Here he made a mistake and is actually talking about tomahawks.
what its capabilities are, and what it would all lead to, then after this week's main event, obviously the significant and crucial phone call that took place between the esteemed presidents of both Russia and the United States, suddenly everything in the world started to look completely, entirely, and profoundly different, changing the global perspective dramatically.
Okay, on one hand, they relaxed because they took Donald Trump's threat seriously, but on the other hand, they became so brazen that they stopped hiding their mockery of Donald Trump and just openly call him crazy. Listen very carefully to precisely what the prominent host articulates on Russia's primary state-controlled propaganda YouTube channel immediately after the former president, Donald Trump, officially announced his firm decision that he absolutely would not provide any Tomahawk missiles to Ukraine.
Diverse and extensive program. We will talk about what's happening with Trump. It's unpleasant, difficult, and to be honest, already disgusting to talk about this. But of course, we need to somehow piece it all together, all these crazy statements, all this madness, at the very least to follow the well-known motto, forewarned is forearmed, right? So that we can at least understand what is actually happening to him.
And well, indeed, Donald Trump is not particularly respected in Russia precisely because he often changes his point of view. They see how he playfully dances to Vladimir Putin's tune and then sobers up and takes back his words. Literally, the day after his conversation with Zelensky, in which he discussed an exchange between Russia and Ukraine of territories, that is, Ukraine should give up its Donbas in exchange for the parts of its own territory in the Zaporizhzhia and Kherson regions occupied by Russia. Well, that's quite an exchange, to say the least. By the next morning, Donald Trump acted as if nothing had happened.
Meeting with President Zelensky. During that meeting, did you tell him you needed to cede all the Donbas region to Russia?
No, we never discussed it. We think that what they should do is just stop at the lines where they are on the battle line. You have a battle line right now. The rest is very tough to negotiate. If you're going to say you take this, we take that, there's so many different permutations. So what I say is they should stop right now at the battle lines, go home, stop killing people, and be done.
What do you think should happen with the Donbas region?
Let it be cut the way it is cut up right now. I think 78% of the land is already taken by Russia. You leave it the way it is right now, they can negotiate something later on down the line. But I say cut and stop at the battle line, go home, stop fighting, stop killing people.
It's clear that Donald Trump isn't concerned about what will happen next with the territories already occupied by Russia, and where he suggests that Russia and Ukraine should simply stop at the line of contact. Obviously, this way of resolving the issue will not lead to long-term peace. That's the first point. Second, the people who live there will simply end up enslaved by Russia. And third, it seems that what Donald Trump cares about most is that peace on earth lasts until the next Nobel Prize ceremony. Peace in Europe and the prospect of a third world war seem to depend on who can manipulate Donald Trump better, rather than on the real interests of humanity. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave your comments. See you.